that $75 billion a year business generates about 500,000 jobs. And our graduates are easy to hire when they leave the campus. Not only do they have a great undergraduate education and that business degree in one hand, but they've also received the membership in basically an internationally recognized professional organization. So part of the program is an extensive work experience requirement. Our students have to complete 16 months of full-time internship work. So through that internship work, obviously they meet lots of people. They've gone through a lot of job interviews already. Networking has started. So that contributes to them being easily placed and hired. Matter of fact, it's almost basic 100% that every one of our graduates has a job offer before they leave the campus.
That is tremendous. Not too many programs can say just that.
No, and I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. It's really, it's our students and the product that the university produces.
That is tremendous, Charlie. That is tremendous. Well, to segue into staying in the golf in the field, I know you've more or less handed off the baton, but the Hurricane Golf Classic for 16 years was kicked off by you and a number of other volunteers, and obviously grew to become a very successful golf classic tournament in this area to raise funds for the American Red Cross. That must have been very exciting.
Well, it was. Most of these things, somebody tricks you into getting started. and when I retired, a friend of mine who had also retired from the Air Force, Rick McDowell, was the director of the Red Cross here at the time. And Rick asked me if I'd put on a golf tournament for the Red Cross, and so we started that, and it's been continuous ever since then. And it has proven to be a sustainable fundraiser within the community, and the golf community supports it very well. We have a great group of volunteers and a committee that works on it, and so I think we're scheduled for the 1st of August at True Blue Golf Plantation this summer.
That is tremendous.
It's okay to put a plug in.
Oh yes, very definitely. And if viewers want to learn more or to find out how to sign up, they can call 843-477-0020. There's a lot of great information even on the website at coastalscarc.org. There's a lot of great information for folks who want to learn more about it. I'm sure they can start calling now. You want to get the foursomes. True Blues, the last time we filmed, I believe we were promoting, when we were with Carolina People, promoting that, and the folks down there, I can't remember the name of the group.
It's really the Springs family.
That's right, absolutely.
There's some
Ponderosa,
few others. Ponderosa, exactly right. They've been great supporters of ours and have made their golf courses available to us. We alternate one year at True Blue, the next at Caledonia. And so John Springs, who's the general manager there, has been a great friend of the Red Cross.
Absolutely, and continues to be. And he was with us that same week a few years back when we filmed to highlight their great dedication. And I believe they do other tournaments down there on a regular basis.
They're great supporters of the community, and they give back.
The Holmesby Springs, his grandfather or his father maybe even, who continued to that real model to set the stage for them to give back. That is tremendous, Charlie. You know, as you think about service on a local board, can you remember was it that Rick McDowell's phone call that first got you involved in the Red Cross?
It certainly was.
Okay.
And then kind of after putting on the golf tournament, there was an opening on the board, and they asked me if I would serve on the board of directors, and I gladly did that. Of course, everyone knows what the Red Cross is, but I think everyone in the military that spent some time in the service appreciates what the Red Cross does on a daily basis for our servicemen and women, not only here in the States but around the world. And so, going through my career, you always run into Red Cross people wherever you go. And I remember when I was in Vietnam, there were Red Cross members there, and those things leave an impression on you. And so for the opportunity to pay back a little bit for people that had served me and supported me and our troops over the years, it was an easy match.
And it really is an organization driven by volunteers, Charlie. You highlight, and of course folks oftentimes think because it was set up by congressional action there that it must be funded by the U.S. government, but truly it is funded by donations and staffed principally by volunteers.
That's correct. And whenever you're out there and you see some people, just like in our local area, we're going to serve about 250 families probably this year with fires in that 3-county area, that 3,000 square mile area that you spoke. And after every one of those fires, there's going to be a volunteer from the Red Cross, one or more, are going to show up to help those families get relocated, resituated, and try to get their lives back on track. And all of that is done through volunteers and donations.
Yes.
There's not a penny of the federal money or state money that goes into it. So
that is incredible, Charlie. What are some of the, we've just got a couple of minutes, what are some of the volunteer opportunities that folks could do here? As you think back of your years of service as a board member, you've probably seen lots of, we're in this emergency operations center. Even that, I assume there's a good bit of training to be able to be in here when there's an emergency going on, but what are some of the, for viewers who didn't catch Angela Nicholas or Ed Piotrowski, who were with us last week talking about some Red Cross functions, what are some volunteer opportunities that a viewer might be capable of doing?
Well, there are educational opportunities. Obviously, the Red Cross is still the primary provider of first aid, life-saving type skills. If people have that they can bring in to help others and train others. Obviously, fundraising. You think that most of us have been around for a while know that fundraising does not just happen.
No.
It's a lot of hard work, a lot of involvement for people that are willing to do those type things. You mentioned here within the Emergency Operations Center, everyone that sits at one of these consoles is trained in a particular function. It may be in a communications function. It may be some type of medical facilities and assistance type fund. We have people that are trained psychologists to go into communities that have been devastated to deal with the trauma, just the psychological impact that losing your house, losing your business might have. So it's almost unlimited. If you can think about something that's going on daily in a person's life, the Red Cross is probably involved in one way or another.
Yes, absolutely. Golly, Charlie, think back to growing up in Texas and that idea that when I retire from the military, I'm probably going to end up back here. There was something clearly about this area. But if you hadn't gone, that got you excited and wanted you to stay here, if you hadn't gone into the Air Force, what do you think you would have done?
I have no clue. Actually, I did not intend to make a career in the Air Force. When I joined, I was actually trying to avoid being drafted. And I went down to, I was attending graduate school at Texas Tech University in Lubbock out in West Texas, and I went to the friendly Air Force recruiter in downtown Lubbock and asked them if they needed any pilots. Sure enough, they did. I would have probably been somewhere in Texas now, I think, if I hadn't joined the Air Force. But it was a great journey. It's worked out very well, and I'm thankful every day that I've been able to have a career that I had in the Air Force and then a great retirement. Of course, retirement is a fuzzy term sometimes when you get up and go to work every morning. But had a great, to come back to this area after my military career was over and be treated very well by the people. They opened their arms to us and our family, and we think that we were able to make a contribution while we've been here. So it's been a great relationship.
You've clearly done that. Charlie, thanks so much for being with us this morning. I'm sorry we've run out of time.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to a little more with Charlie Thrash, honorary life board member here of the Coastal South Carolina chapter of the American Red Cross. Coming up next. You love Charlie's word, retirement. Think about that after a 26-year career as a pilot in the United States Air Force. To retire, to quote retire, and then almost the next day to wake up and be general manager of a 54-hole golf plantation, to take over a professional program, the Professional Golf Management Program at Coastal Carolina University, to get on-the-job training as a 16-year launching the Hurricane Golf Classic and serving as a board member here for the Coastal South Carolina chapter of the American Red Cross. Think about that, retirement. It's not a typical retirement, but it's clearly retirement that Charlie's loved and his family have loved, and they've made this their home. Charlie Thrash, thanks so much for everything you've done.